Hello everybody. It is the 18th of September. Beta 5 is out, and as you can see, I've upgraded, and I'm happy to say Yab is running fine. Okay, so you've got an open window. Now, the first thing you probably want to do is populate it with views. What is a view? A view is a defined area of your window where you can put buttons or text, or you can draw rectangles, or you can splatter a picture on it. Anything you want. Well, not anything, but a lot. Now, it's important to realize that the window itself is a view. You can do all those things directly onto the window. But you probably don't want to do that. So let's see this little example program. So for now, ignore these lines that were commented out. Right? We're just going to open a window and draw some text on it. Okay, let's go. Right, so let's go. There's a window, and here is some text. Very simple, right? And I haven't opened the view, I've drawn it directly on the window. Okay, let's close that. Right, so now let's uncomment these two lines. First, we wait for 5 seconds, give me a chance to talk, and then we put a view on it. And the view starts on the main window. It's called test view, and it's 10 from the left margin and 1 from the top to 400, so that's the entire width of the window, and well, we only need to go halfway down. So let's run that one. One, two, three, four, five. There it is. Now we have a view. And as you can see, it obliterated whatever was beneath it, at least visually. But you can't actually see where it begins and ends, because this is the most primitive kind of view. There are other ones where you will be able to see it. We'll talk about those later. So there's now a view from here to here and halfway down. Okay, so let's now uncomment this last line and save it. We're now going to draw text again. Remember, this is exactly the same from 1 to 15, and sample text on a view rather than sample text on a window. So where do you think this text is now going to appear? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's very interesting. You see, it is not right over it. Even though in the code it looks exactly the same. Start at 115. Now that 15 means 15 down, and that's the bottom line, which is where most of these letters end. Now obviously, if you have a P here, it's going to be a few pixels below it. And it also looks like it's about a pixel lower than the original. What is happening here? Well, it has to do with the coordinate system. Because let's just end that. This start at 115 refers to the main window, while this one refers to the view. And remember, we started that view 10 pixels to the right of the left edge of the window. So this is 115 for the view. Every time you make a view, the counter for where you put things goes back to 1 or 0. The documentation's never very clear on that, yeah, but it's not the end of the world. As I've said before, YAB is very forgiving for that sort of thing. And so, why do you want to do that? Why can't you just draw directly on the window? Well, sometimes you can, and I've written programs like that. But suppose you want to remove that text now, right? Well, you can remove a view, right? Or you can also scale the view, right? And that means all the buttons and all the text scales. I've never needed to do that, but it is possible, right? You can say this view, once you've created it, is a drop zone. So if you drop a file on it, then that sends a message which you can intercept and load the file or do whatever your program does to it. Right? You can get certain options, right? Like the position, the dimensions, whether it exists, and whether it is focused. And so this is, you might say, why do you want to know if a view exists? Well, you may want to do that before you remove the view, right? If you try to remove a view that doesn't exist, you're going to get a crash. So now you can say, if this view get exists, then view remove. So there are quite a lot of things here that, let's see, layout, where is, I always struggle to find this thing. Here under widgets, right? So you can get a view get, but there's no view set. However, there is option set, right? And this allows you to say, give this view focus, right? Or, well, what else? Or auto resize it. So if I resize the window, the view should resize with it. And so the option set is not only for views, it also applies to buttons, it applies to all sorts of other things, right? But there are a few things that you can do to views with this command. Right, so, but this simple invisible view is not the only one we've got. We've got quite a few, right? And so there's the box view, canvas, right? The split view, the stack view, and the tab view. And we are going to go through each of those in a separate lesson. Some of them I've used before, others I'll have to figure out as I go along. Right, so as you develop your program, I found that it's useful in your first go through when you just want a rough indication of where things should be. It is sometimes useful to just draw everything on the main window and just see how it all fits together, and then go back and put your text field on a view and your buttons on another view. And that way things just get organized a little bit more programmatically satisfying. So until the next time, thanks for watching.